Hello friends, my name is Evgene Glebov. I'm an owner of a new marketing channel based on APM Agentuur company. It's an Estonian company. First, let's meet each other. I'd like to know whether there are people who work in an advertising business. Please raise your hands. Who thinks that he or she has something to do with advertising? Are there marketing specialists? Are there SEO specialists? Nice, nice. The main focus will be promotion on the internet, but we'll touch upon other channels as well. I've come prepared, as you see. Please take a look. There is a flyer in your bags. Be so kind to take it up. Briefly, read what's there. It won't take much time. There is a coin, you see. What just happened is a moment of truth. You got acquainted with something, you got money for that. It's what I'm gonna talk about today. I mean, everything I'll be telling you will always go around this situation. Let me begin with a real example. It happened in September 2014. We built and started a beta testing of our platform. In Minsk, I found a big advertising agency. I went there happily to tell them about our project. Eventually, I was met by a director. It's a really big agency. It's also the agency that caters for interests of Belarusian large brands, places them on TV, and so on and so forth. It's a full-cycle agency. I talked to a director, I talked to his deputy. They listened to me carefully. And finally, the director, whose name is Alexander, said to me, Evgeny, did I get you right? Do you seriously want people to watch ads? I answered yes. He said, Evgeny, do you understand that you want to turn their lives into hell? I didn't know what to answer then. We talked for some time and I got back to my car. I sat down and started to think, well, it's really interesting that he just confessed that what he does is he turns people's lives into hell. The main product of communication, advertising, doesn't matter, a banner, anything else. He sees it as a sign of hell. But I don't agree with him. Who thinks that advertising is bad? Is there a single person who thinks so? Who thinks that, say, sneakers, I bought them, somebody made them for me, I like them, and naturally I wear them, and I like the guy who made them for me, but at that very moment when he wants to advertise them to me, he becomes bad. It's wrong. I mean, he's good, he made them, I'm good, I bought them. Consequently, at which moment does a situation appear when good people addressing me turn into bad people? I mean, if there are no people here who think that advertising is bad and all of you agree that advertising is good, there is a natural question. Why does it happen? Let's take a look at the example of such bad advertising. There are some marketing or maybe SEO specialists or directors of advertising agencies or social networks or search engines. They somehow entertain and do something else to this pretty girl, but at the same time it is understood, even by some of them, as hell. It is commonly thought that the internet is something that makes us closer to each other, Is there anybody who believes that the internet doesn't make us closer to each other? There are two people who think that the internet doesn't make us closer. I'd like to offer you to act a really simple scene. We agree with a condition that the internet is a net stretched over the globe. Literally, try to imagine that the net of the internet is stretched over geography. So, to act this scene, I need a lady who wants to live then with this cute stuff. These are slippers, really nice. Who wants them? Thank you. Introduce yourself. My name is Natalia. Natalia wants these slippers. Yeah, means that maybe she'd even buy them someday. At least she likes them. Natalia, please stand here. And I need my assistant. Let me introduce him. It's Andrei Vertsmaha. He's a manager of APM Agentuur UA. He'll be Facebook today. Facebook will sit here on a throne. Look, what's gonna happen now is real. The internet makes us closer. The majority of us think so. I live in Lviv on the east of the Ukrainian street. Let's think that Natalia also lives on this street. Here we have a standard condition. I'm selling these slippers. I and Natalia live on less the Ukrainian street. We don't know each other. I want to sell her my slippers. What do? In fact, I need to take this bag from my pocket and go somewhere far, far away. I'll do this. I'm taking my bag and I'm going to Mr. Facebook. I'm saying, "Dear Mr. Facebook, let me address Natalia. I was going on the internet, but geographically I crossed the ocean. There is no ocean, as you can see. Facebook, do you let me address Natalia?" Only in this case he triggers and I can address Natalia. It means that Natalia, either by means of SEO, I don't know, say Google AdSense, saw or found in a search engine my slippers and bought them. It means that she paid this money. Do you agree? Anyway, she paid for the existence of this mister. No. Who if so? And if you organized your ad campaign and nobody bought your slippers? If what? You organized your advertising campaign, you showed your ad and nobody bought your slippers. Anyway, I paid Mr. Facebook, didn't I? You did. She didn't pay. You did. She didn't. But then she'd buy these slippers and she'd pay too. No, why? You can go bankrupt, close your business. I mean, sure I can. In this case, if she bought, she'd also pay for my action. Anyway, I'll include it into the price of my product. Let's imply I didn't go bankrupt. Not everyone went bankrupt here. If I went bankrupt, this money would just disappear from the Ukrainian economy, wouldn't it? Yeah, that's right. So it means she'd pay Facebook anyway, either through costs or I'd go bankrupt. It means anyway I'd send this money from Ukraine somewhere else. What's the point? Does it mean that the internet makes us closer? If so, how does this mister appear? And why do we need him? Have you ever talked to a programmer? You ask a programmer, "Natalia, thank you, excuse me, I won't keep you, these slippers are yours." Let's applaud Natalia, she was brave. And Andrei too, thank you, Andrei. So you talk to programmers, if you ask them, "What can I program?" They answer, "Anything," literally, "We'll program anything." To my mind, even 18 years ago, it was easily possible to program money not to go there, but to go directly to the one who buys slippers. We've done that. I mean, technically, are there any problems? If PayPal existed since 1998, at that moment, the internet was ready to distribute all advertising funds there directly among users. It's been done. There's a business model which makes us every time cross the ocean and give our money to Facebook. Nonsense, right? It doesn't make any sense. It's primitive because of our people's fault. We are getting back to a primitive condition, sort of bartering. So are you comfy? We are standing on our heads and all the time communicate with Natalia this way. That's why we've marked it with 2 hearts. No one agreed that advertising is evil. Advertising isn't bad, so why do we do this to this girl? Do you understand? In fact, a trivial thing happens. Wherever we are, we stumble into an advertising object which we didn't expect. We come to social nets to rest a bit, to see our friends, chat, show ourselves, but not to communicate. Whom do social nets render their service to? What do you think? It depends, hard to say. Facebook. They serve users rather than advertisers. Facebook serves advertisers simply because they pay money. Whom do we serve? One who pays. Consequently, we always are on a hostile platform having no rights. And constantly, we find ourselves in a sort of a coffin. There's a phrase, I guess, contextual advertising. What does this phrase mean? Didn't get that? Advertising in context. One gets information, surfs Facebook, Googles something, and he gets in the context of what he's doing, what he's currently interested in. He gets ads. Maybe you'll find it interesting. That's the point of contextual advertising. It is advertising. You see, no matter what you'll tell me now, you'll be saying from the paradigm of the existing situation. I mean, you see, there are some companies which initially chose a certain business model, in which we are users. Let's forget for some time that we are also specialists of something. We've created a product, everyone in the world uses it. Awesome. So they've created a product and some of them are monopolists, right? You ask, why does this money go overseas? But why we here, one of us, the guy who created Google, shares our roots? Why didn't we create Google? Well, that's a question. They did there, not here. No. Do you understand that it's impossible that one person can do something and another can't? Let's proceed with your presentation. It's interesting how you'll conclude. So, you and I, always face the necessity to use such relationships, to rape users who by every means try to avoid any interaction with this object. We are forced to face that we force users to pay more and more attention. No surprise they demonstrate reciprocity. So do we? Don't we switch? Who doesn't switch? Who doesn't move away from TV? The length of your ad is 15 minutes. It's enough to make a baby. It's a pure nightmare, really. But what's the point? How often do you see, say, ladies, have you ever seen ads of anti-baldness treatments for men? You have probably. What does it have to do with you? You see, it's completely ineffective. It's nonsense. Consequently, the use of ad block increases to 70 to 40 to 30% from year to year. Polish are placed, the first among those who block ads. They block something so businesses cannot enter. What's the point? Just imagine how much money the businesses spend in vain. There was no contact. It's savagery. Therefore, why do we need to torture this girl? Her CDR, we added it here. Possibly around 10% is already really good, right? Who knows? I mean, you need to work a lot. Consequently, it never ends. She doesn't want, and you somehow need to overcome it. Let's talk about how it would be right. It would be right if every advertiser calmly told us about his product and we'll listen to him carefully. What's the problem? He's good, he's made good sneakers. Why can't we listen to him? Are we savage? You're running out of time. You communicate with ineffective advertising every year, and if you count, it'll turn out that you spend a lot of time on it. There is no end in sight to it. Why? What's the reason why you can't spend 5 minutes on watching what's addressed personally to you? Such relationships are courteous. Such advertising is useful. So who decides what's useful to me? Well, probably the one who wants to pay you personally. Each company will personally address me, will tell me just for me. And as a result, I watch ads not 15 minutes per day, not 5 hours per day. Don't listen to them. Do you have to? Just open yourself, change your opinion. Let them say what they want to. No, if I'll keep receiving relevant messages, I'll close myself. Why do you need to do that? Who in his right mind will advertise you something you don't actually need? Tell me, let's take as an example. A man, 70 years old, never had children, never been married. A confirmed bachelor. Why does he need information about diapers and who'll give him it? It's a question to advertisers. But it's nonsense. Agree, now everything happens in this way, and you think inside this paradigm, and we see a lot of noise. It's mystified. It has no sense. Anyway, anything that becomes a part of cost will pay for it 100%. Anyway, the cost of everything includes the cost of the existence of advertising. The way it is now, and it ought to be changed. We've done that. It's a known advertising board. Every person registers on his or her own, providing his or her real parameters. Every person remains anonymous. It's not a social net, but a product of utilitarian use. There are no obligations. Money stays in Ukraine. It never happens that it goes somewhere else. If Estonians address Ukrainians, money will stay in Ukraine, in other words, in the region of residence. In fact, just to show how it looks, there is a bunch of banners. Though in real life there are only those that are potentially interesting to you, no irrelevance. So it is advertisers who bear responsibility for what's shown here. You aren't obliged. You know, there is Airbnb, there is such a channel. They took the flats that hadn't been a part of economy. They involved them. There is Uber. They took the cars that hadn't been a part of economy. They involved them. Why can't we involve our eyes? Aren't they a part of economy? Just now you looked at the flyers. Your eyes were involved, but in general, no. Not are they involved, but forced. It's true. They aren't a part of economy. There is such a movement, sharing economy. Why can't we adapt it to advertising? I mean, in fact, I'm trying to tell you that the existing business model is utterly ineffective. We can even say it's immoral as well as immature. Can I clarify? Regarding the previous slide, as far as I understand, you want the user to visit your website. and watch ads there. Turn the life into hell. Yeah, hell. So the user, what does the user get from all this? Why does she need to spend his or her own time go somewhere watch ads? Did you have your breakfast? I did you? So did I. So do we have needs? Oh, you mean I intentionally come to this hell, spend my precious time? But it's not a hell. Nobody agreed that it is hell. Well, I personally would come here because I know they set certain parameters according to which I buy something, and if I find stuff that could be more or less interesting to me, I can go there and check whether there is something special for me. I'll spend 5 minutes maybe, and later maybe I'll buy something. It's a complete analog of your postbox. Everyone has one. You have a postbox near your house. You came, looked inside where there's something. I mean, it's a specialized electronic place, which allows us not to kill trees. In your postbox, you see lots of flyers. What's the point? Why do we kill trees? Two questions. First, we don't kill. I mean, we save trees because we watch ads here and somewhere else. It's the first point. Second, what do we do with advertising which... I mean, there are certain advertising campaigns that give you something you've never thought about. They form your needs. Let's say I've never skydived even. Yeah. But advertising campaigns somehow caught me with their, say, cool design, really cool. And I think, really, why don't I try? But I've never thought about it before, but I'll jump. We are in Lithuania now. We are focusing on two starting regions, Lithuania and Ukraine. Now in Lithuania, we are offering people to try bungee jumping. There is our sponsor, not sponsor, a partner, payment system Paysera. They offer people to try an air balloon flight. You also say that there one describes yourself. I mean, so that won't get targeted ads. But I never ever describe one in such a way that I'd get ads of bungee jumping. You will. In our questionnaire, there is how do you spend your vacation if you wrote actively. I like books. You like books and don't want to jump. I don't. Therefore, the one who offers the service can experiment with one's audience. It's his money, right? What for does one need to transfer it to California? You see, what happens now is completely the same. The difference is that you don't get anything, if we are talking from a user's perspective. Let me ask one question. Who in the audience has ever used such a service, just to evaluate the market? Thank you. I want to add something that was peculiar to me. You advertise your service, internet service on the radio, on Facebook as well. I'll explain to you why we advertise on the radio. I didn't see Facebook, I heard the radio. For me it was, let's say, a bit... Just wait a bit. What you are saying is correct. It's wrong. It's unnatural. As a matter of fact, internet companies do not advertise through such channels. It'd be expensive to find out in Lithuania, so we found out in Ukraine. You see, we are a startup. We are trying everything, literally. One more question to clarify. First, really, it's a great idea. Really cool. I, as a marketing specialist, would use your service. By the way, it's not. Here's entree. I'm taking you up on it. So we have a question, a clarifying question. There are similar projects with loyalty systems, you know. They return money to their users. It's great. It's new. I mean, I see it as... how fast are you growing? I understand that, for example, to kill Facebook, you need to be mega cool. There is no need to kill Facebook. It's a good service. I mean, to attract users, we love Lithuania, it's cool. We love Ukraine, we want all the money to stay here, we are ready to pay you money, but the dynamic. How long has the service existed? How fast is it growing? Where do you attract your audience from? I see. How many are there marketing channels, in your opinion? It really depends on the product. Approximately, say, 60, 50, approximately 2. No, it is said that there are 60, even more. Therefore, we are offering just one more. You see, no need to kill anybody. We are strictly against any type of violence. Under no circumstances are we saying that Facebook is a bad software. What's wrong is its monetization. Its business model causes insecurity. So knots of negativity form. People are irritated. They think they're being surveyed. Nobody needs no one. What is needed are your consumption cycles. Egoistic and physiological, that's it, you see? So Facebook is a good software. Let them ask for $1 per month, that's it. Google, super, $1 per month, that's it. Pay them, and they'll have competitors. There are already 60,000 in Google, 500,000 will join them who also wants this money. So the competition will start, and so far it's a monopoly. Monopolists never survive. It's a sort of movement. There are cases that CTR, it's real. I mean, if for some reason the ad is targeted at you and someone is responsible for that, why don't you watch what you're offered, especially if you're motivated by money? And because you eat something, you buy something, you get redirected. And we, in fact, don't even target. There are results in a testing mode. I guess you can reach up to 95%. Here, what does 16 euro budget mean? It means that overall we spent 16 euros on this story. So bye-bye hell. You talked about growth, size, and so on. It's a startup. We started to live actively in previous May. The architecture is still being built. We understand it's a marathon. We are ready for this marathon. I'm funding this project myself, so until I fund it, it'll exist as much time as possible. 90% of this project is social, because 90% of the funds are given to our users. Are there any other questions? Look, I've been in your project for quite a long time, possibly as you mentioned from the previous year. You, as far as I remember, advertise yourself on Facebook. I get email subscription, I go to your website. I link Paysera, I've already linked it. Paysera offers different profiles. So money transfer is rather difficult. I mean, to get money I earned there, invest money in advertising isn't worth it, because your advertising is expensive, as I see. I mean, I lost my interest in the money I get after 2 weeks. I used your service, yeah, I received 3 or something, maybe at that time there were few. I received 3-4 messages, went there, got my 10 cents. That's it. I lost my interest precisely after 2 weeks. I never returned, even though I still get email letters saying, come back, we want you to pay you, not as advertisers. Yeah, okay, let it be advertisers. What I'm trying to say is how you can be sure that users won't lose their interest after some time. It's not about earning money whatsoever. It's a communication channel. You need to be open and get rid of all negative things that are so far present in users-advertiser relationships. You need to rehabilitate advertisers. You need to stop mystifying users. We need to have a specific tool which would allow advertisers to hit their target audience. So you have this postbox. Do you use it frequently? So yeah, you see, it's a sort of a place which all of us need. We need not Ukrainians who use the internet, but all Ukrainians. We need all Lithuanians and residents of other Baltic states. We need all people in the world. So advertising, it never can physically stop to mystify a person. You come to McDonald's, you see their pictures of cheeseburgers, hamburgers, everything what's there, but you'll never get what's shown. I mean, there is a difference, product advertising, right? It happens in 99 cases, so there's an ad. Yeah, you'll get, there's a sort of contract. You see an ad, you buy, you get. Advertising is advertising. You are talking about a product which anyone can use, am I right? Yeah, but there are products that are highly targeted, I mean, according to age, sex, gender, and so on. Now we are facing fantastic noise, lots and lots of pointless actions, and many costly things. You say you don't earn enough. Every day money flows from Ukrainian economy to Mr. with horns. Do you understand? Every single day. Aren't you sitting here also responsible for that? In fact, your national bank from morning till night is guessing what to do with external trade balance. At the same time, you get a pure service, which is completely ineffective. What's the point? What is your protection of users' personal data policy? We don't collect data, the payment system does. I mean, yeah, it's anonymous. You see your board. Advertisers see only the number of people. It's not a social net. Our servers are located in Germany, a very good, solid company. The payment system has an EU license, so they have the right to collect data and they're responsible for that to Central European Bank, okay? But it's not a social net, and in fact, nobody needs your data. You're chased just because it's so. And you'll chase just to enter the physiological cycle and the egoistical cycle. Nobody cares about the name. Are there any studies concerning how sincere users are filling the questionnaires? Haven't heard. Is there any data how sincere users are while filling your questionnaires? How are users sincere? I say they don't have to. They fill them as they wish. If it turns out that you and your girlfriend's parameters are the same, and she got offered something and got a discount, and you didn't, it's simply because you decided not to tell something about yourself. It's your right. If you don't want, you don't need to, but you'll never know that yesterday in the shop in your neighborhood, diapers were half price. That's it. While your friend will know. But what's the point of forcing one? Everything should be done calmly. And we do it this way, and it works. You see, this dirty water, sure you can fish there, but it's immature. It's morally wrong. Consequently, what happens now is a sort of anti-presentation. You don't get a golden key, see my point? Well, I'm addressing a bit different categories. More questions? Perhaps the last. I guess, what's your average CTR? So you've shown us the best cases, but the best are, no, standard. Have you estimated the average? We've existed for a year and we've been testing really intensively. Also, I did mention we don't target because our representative sample is not sufficient, you see. So our aim for this year is to reach 5% of all people who use the internet in Lithuania. Sure, in Ukraine it'd be impossible. Okay, thanks. The minimal of all time was 65%. It's the lowest. The lowest CTR, the highest was about 98. Don't trust him. He's Facebook. He's lying. So from 65 to... Thank you for your attention. I'd also like to express my gratitude to the organizers. It was nice to be here. Register, please. It's a really cozy place.